This is Brainless by Chip. It's a 3D sort of maze-like game where you play as a fish with short-term memory loss. Your goal is to make it to the end of the level and get the food while the movement controls randomize every 10 seconds. This guy says that it's his very first game, and for a first game this is really well polished. To start with, the menu looks nice. It's got your nice fish character floating there. It's not just some text over a plain background, which is really nice. Also, the font and the color scheme is very consistent, and the whole game has a very unified art style. The only thing that doesn't fit is maybe the white squares that you use to depict the WASD keys. It's not that stood out per se, but that's just the only thing that doesn't fit. Also, that music loop. I really like that music loop because it's got this kind of childlike aquatic feel to it, but it also feels kind of awkward. It matches the game so well, and I think the fact that it's such a short loop matches the fish's memory loss. I always felt a link between the music and my character, which is weird to say for a game like this. The core concept of the randomized movement controls is really fun to play actually, and 10 seconds is just long enough for me to get used to the new controls just before they change again. And I like that moment of sheer confusion that I have when I scramble to try to find what the controls are. A really good positive thing that I can say about Brainless is that it's not too long for what it is. Many games make the mistake of trying to have too many levels, or they just outstay their welcome. But with Brainless, the mechanics that you have in the game justify its length, which is only 3 minutes long. But I also will say that I did get kind of bored halfway through the last level. I think it's too long. And if you were going to add any more levels to this game, you better make sure that you introduce new mechanics too. Because as it is, this game is a nice, sweet, self-contained little package. I feel like it would be fun to try to avoid some kind of enemies with this weird, awkward controls, because the game gives me just enough time to get used to the awkward controls, and I feel like dealing with the awkward controls would be even more fun and even more awkward if I also had to think about avoiding an enemy. Because the way it is right now, I can just kind of, move and do my thing, and then when it changes, I just look at what keys do what. But if there was an enemy, I'd have no time to stop and think because I'd have to get out of the way or something. I think that would be fun, personally. Another thing might be a level timer. Like, you have to get out fast, so there's no time to sit and think about what the controls do. But please, dear God, do not put enemies and a time limit. At least not until later levels. Anyway, that was Brainless. I hope this is the kind of criticism that could be helpful to you. It might be useless to you. I don't know. But it was a nice little play. Well polished, good short little game. And especially because this is your first game, your second one will be even better.